How's it, Data fam? Welcome to Data with Clarence. Now, today we are going to be speaking about undergraduate programs that are offered by South African universities within data science, right? So look, data science is becoming very important, I think, without a doubt, and we are seeing a lot of universities actually having data science at an undergraduate level. Look, if it was up to me, I feel like we should be having some sort of data science work being done at a high school level because of how important this technology actually is, right? So if you're someone in matric or you're someone who wants to do an undergraduate level qualification within data science, which is really good because you learn data science early on, you don't have to wait to do honors and all of that, especially if you know that you genuinely want to take the data science route without having to take the traditional IT route that you might have to wait for honors or even your masters for you to get into data science, right? So in this video, I'm going to go through a list of the universities that actually offer these undergraduate programs, right? But before I do that, please do not forget to like and subscribe so that you can see more content like this. So now let's switch over to my computer and we're going to go through the list in detail, covering some of the modules that are actually covered. We're not going to cover pricing because I think information relating to pricing is a bit tricky, right? So we're going to cover some of that information and which one actually stands out and which one is suitable for you depending on what you actually want. So without wasting any time, let's go into it. Before we get started on the list, I just want to make a note that for you to get into these programs, right, it's really important that you need to have a strong mathematics foundation. And what they normally consider here for you to qualify, it's your sort of like high school marks, specifically your matric results. So if you want to pursue this, you need to make sure that your matric results are really good because data science is a mathematics-based program. So you really need to be good at maths to qualify for some of these programs. Some of them are more hectic, some of them are more understandable, but like I said, data science is a really good career field that you want to pursue. There's a lot of opportunities if you really want to make a lot of great things within the space, right? There's a lot of money actually to be made, whether you go into the banking sector, the marketing sector, data science, there's opportunities in almost any industry that you can possibly imagine, right? So now we're going to start with the first university, bro. So the first university on our list is Stellenbosch University, right? So they've got the Bachelor of Data Science, right? So the Bachelor of Data Science is actually a 4-year program. It actually includes honors, which I think is great. You don't want to do a 3-year program and then later on have to do honors because that's what I also experienced, right? So getting it 4 years and getting your honors is really great because then the next step for you would be getting your master's, right? So full-time, right? Because this is an undergraduate. I think majority of the undergraduate programs are going to be full-time and, you have to be on campus. That's the requirement, right? Now, the entry requirements are a bit strict. I have to be honest here. They want 80% average, like 80% mathematics, 60% home language minimum or 75 English and all of that. But they want an 80% average, so you really need to work hard to get into this, right? They've been running since 2021. I think this program, they started it in 2021. That's when it actually went live. So what is really this program about? This is a deep 4-year program that builds across mathematics, computer science, mathematical statistics, and data science. So I think it's a really good program that actually is much more well-rounded because you're not only learning the computer science side of things, but you're learning data science and mathematics because I think those are really crucial areas for anyone who wants to get into data science, right? And you spend a lot of time researching in data-rich focal areas, right? So we are going to go through some of the core modules that are really, really, really important, right? Because it's a 4-year program, you are automatically carried into the 4th year. So we've already spoken about this. So you're getting an honors equivalent, right? So what are the modules? First year, you will learn about probability theory, statistics, mathematics, so you learn about calculus, linear algebra. These are very fundamental concepts that are important for anyone who wants to get into data science. So this is really good. Then you've got 2 modules in computer science, and then you've got data science 141. So those are the modules, right? Then year 2, you do mathematics, statistics, you do things like distribution theory, inference, and linear models and all of that. You do advanced calculus, you do linear algebra, you do data structures, very important. You do algorithms. Look, so far, I'm really impressed. This is a really solid program, right? Year 3, mathematical statistics, machine learning, databases, data science, right? 4th year, you do introduction to statistical learning, basically, and you got a research assignment. Look, honestly, from a technical perspective, this is really good. I don't want to lie to you guys. As someone who even runs a data and AI academy, as someone who's been a data professional, I can assure you this is really good. Like, this is really impressive. I think the program is really good, right? You know, what I'm not sure is how practical they actually get, because, you know, you also want to get some sort of practical experience in you building the models themselves. I think that would really be great, right? So in terms of the 8 focal areas that you basically need to look into would be statistical learning, computer science, analytical optimizations. This is basically the differentiator. So you can actually pick one of these, right? Applied mathematics, behavioral economics. It really depends on what you want, right? This one, honestly, is really great for top achieving students. Like, if you're one of the top achievers, you know, if it happens that you're one of the top achievers, go for this one. It's really good. You know, Stellenbosch is it's a really good place. I think the environment is really great. It's going to be an amazing experience. You're not going to regret it, right? Cool. So that is that. So far, one of my favorite in the list, right? Now, next one, we still in the Western Cape, right? So next one we're going to look at is the University of Cape Town. They have got a Bachelor of Business Science, which is also 4 years. Great, you're getting your honors equivalent, right? Duration 4 years, mod full-time. All of this undergraduate full-time. You have to be on campus, guys, please. It's a great experience to be on campus, like, trust me. Entry level, so this is highly competitive, but I feel like it's much more lighter compared to the Stellenbosch one, right? Highly competitive, that's the only information I could find, right? In terms of the faculty points, you need to do, I'm not sure if anyone has done the NBT. There's sort of an assessment that you do. I think it's just sort of to see how you're going to survive at university. I did one, but I never used it because the programs that I ended up applying for never really needed it, but you might actually want this, right? Now, you need to have a strong maths understanding. So, like, all of these data science programs, you need to really have a strong mathematical understanding. That is absolutely important, non-negotiable, right? So what is really this program all about? Remember, this is a Bachelor of Business Sciences, specializing in statistics and data science, right? So it uses a lot of quantitative skill to turn high volume, high variety big data into decisions. So there's a lot of focus on big data and all of that across business marketing. So this one has sort of a focus on business. So if you want to understand business a little bit more, I think this one is going to be good, right? Medicine, astrology, and more. It's a data science with a strong commercial and statistical spine. This one has a business flavor into it, which I think is great. You want to be able to understand business. And, you know, the understanding of business is a big requirement for data professionals. So this is actually really good, the way that I've actually structured it. You don't just want to do technical work without understanding business. So this is really good, right? There's a lot of modules that goes on here, so I'm not going to go into some of them, but very important. You get a strong statistical sciences, computer science, core areas across the 4 years, so a business-oriented sort of program, right? So year one, this will be the module, so you learn about accounting, you know, and computer science, you know, economics, mathematics, introduction to statistics. Really great, very solid, right? Microeconomics, you know, if you do, you know, I think this is going to be great, if especially you want to understand economics and all of that. So I like this one because they've got a business flavor into it. Like, just take a screenshot of those modules if you can, but these are some of the modules that they actually offer. I think this is really great, very solid. I'm really impressed. You know, this list is very impressive because this one, what I like about it, as much as the Stellies one was much more technical, this one integrates it with business, which makes it really stand out. I think it's really great, right? So I like this one. So best for strong school leavers who want a data science with business science framing and rigor, right? This is for students that have just finished school and they want to really understand business and data science. So that's what I would say. Now, it's really hard now. I think those two are currently my favorites, but we will see which one takes my cup, right? So at number 3, the University of Pretoria. Obviously, they will be here, right? So the University of Pretoria basically has a BCom in statistics. This is a smart move. I just wish my university that I went to, if you guys know what university I went to, you'd know, they had this. I think this is really cool, right? So they've got a BCom in statistics and data science. I genuinely think that this is really good, right? So it's a 3-year program. All BComs are generally 3 years, right? They have to be on campus. And then in terms of the entry requirements, you need an APS score of 32. You need level 5 in English, level 5 in mathematics, and the applications are closing in June. So I'm guessing the applications have already closed. So yeah, you might have to try again next year. But this is really solid, right? This is really, really solid. So what is it really about? The science of extracting information data aimed at employment in data science environments across the practical and industry, strong statistics, and an engine for decision making, and the only degree here with a built-in industry software certification. What is that industry software certification? They've got the SAS. So SAS is really popular, especially with the banks and all of that, because it does a lot of financial modeling work. I think there's an accounting standard or something that's really, I think it's IFRS 9. If you are within the accounting, there's something called IFRS 9, really important. You know, the SAS tool is actually used, you know, in some of those areas, right? So you might actually want to check it out, right? So if you want to end SAS, which is a really industry recognized certification, I think this is one thing that makes it stand out. I think it's that certification, right? So you get that certification by the end of the program, which is really good, right? Which is really good, right? In terms of the curricula, so first day there's statistics, mathematics. It's very statistics and mathematical intensive, right? Also, there's a lot of mathematics, let's put it that way. But there's a bit of business management. So you can see you've got statistical majors, you've got mathematics majors, you've got commerce foundations. So this is where you learn about business accounting, right? And you've also got a second stream that you can pay whether you want to do investing and all of that. Look, I think for the people that are going to be going to university for the first time, I think it's really important to understand that, you know, the understanding of business or the integration of data science into the business world is very important. If you pair your data science degree with something in mathematics, your data science degree with something in finance, you will stand out very fast, right? And if you look at our country, a lot of the work comes from financial institutions. So try to position yourself very well, right? This is best for those that want a solid public university data science degree with a business angle, right? I think this one, competitive to the University of Cape Town one, they both offer business, but this one stands out because of that certification, right? Yeah, this list is too good. I'm not going to lie to anyone. This list is too good. Any of the universities that you go to now, any of this, you are actually really sorted. These universities are really good. Now the next one we're going to look at is the University of KwaZulu-Natal, right? We're going to KZN now. Great. So now this is a BSc in Statistics and Computer Science. So you can see this one sounds a bit technical, right? Look, I don't want to lie. KZN is very popular with their data science work that they do. They do quite a lot of great work. They've got really great lecturers. So I would definitely recommend this one, right? Now, this is a Bachelor of Science majoring in Statistics and Computer Science. 3 years, not 4 years, right? On campus, entry score is 30 APS. Not hectic, right? It's reasonable. And they're closing in September, so you know what, you can still apply. So please, if you're doing your matric now, just make sure that you apply. I really would encourage you if you do want to move to KZN or you're from KZN, right? So what is it all about? This is a flexible, versatile BSc that builds a strong quantitative and computational sort of understanding. So programming, statistics, and data analysis. So this one has a data analysis flavor in it, which I think is good, right? So this is the lowest APS score by far. So this one is, more people can actually get into it. You know, there's opportunities for everyone, which I believe is also great, right? Now, first day is a general BSc, 6 core modules, right? You major in statistics, computer science, you know, and all. There's a lot that you can do, right? So there's a lot of programming, data science, calculus. You know, it really is a bit of a technical module. Artificial intelligence. I haven't seen any of the others having artificial intelligence, which I think is good for you to just get that flavor and understanding. And they seem to have a focus in programming. They've got computer science. They've got statistics. Those are the key things that you want to really get from whatever program that you're studying, right? So those will be the programs. You can take a screenshot if you do want to just go back, or you can just go to their website, right? So this is great for learners who want a traditional, flexible BSc route into data science with a lower APS bar, right? You know, if you feel like your marks are not so great, this would be your option. And this is great because now, you know, even if you didn't get the good marks, you can get an opportunity to really prove yourself and do great at university, right? Now, I'm going to say, okay, it's last but not least, it's not the last one on the list, right? So This is the Plaatje University. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I think I still don't know how to pronounce the university's name correctly. I think some people call it SPU. Yeah, they call it SPU. That's the other abbreviation, basically. Now, guys, this is very important because this was one of the first universities that actually came up with the data science program at the undergraduate level in South Africa. And in Africa, I stand corrected, but I confirmed with one of my friends that actually studied this. And, now they're lecturers, really very good friends of mine. We've done a lot of hackathons together. They're one of the smartest people in data science that I generally know, right? I have a lot of respect for those guys. So this is basically the university that offers a BSc in data science, right? So this is a very dedicated degree, 3 years on campus. The score is around 30, not so bad, right? Yeah, not so bad. So there could be some sort of changes, but we can just confirm that. But the APS score is really great. It's just like the University of KwaZulu-Natal. You can also make it's much more better, right? But I think one thing to actually note is that, look, the degree with a strong mathematics, statistics, and computer science core, I think this one really balances computer science and data science. That's one thing that I say. If I look at it, it really balances computer science and data science because you learn statistics, computer science, bit of big data and all of that. So if you look at the modules, and they've also got data visualization, right? Because I could see from my friends, they were really well-rounded sort of data professionals, very good. So that was proof to me that this university is really good, right? So in terms of the curriculum, right, it's a 3-year program, mathematics, statistics, and computer science, right? You learn about basic computer organizations, architecture, introduction to statistics, and all of that. These are very important core fundamentals, right? Year 2, operating systems, computer networks, advanced calculus, discrete mathematics, and all of that, right? Year 3 is machine learning, multivariate statistics, and all of that. To be honest, I would really recommend this one. It really does stand out. I think it offers a really solid balance, so this is good for students who want a dedicated, accessible BSc in data science, and a smaller group, I think, because the university is not so popular. I think it's not a university that just comes to your mind by default, but it's a much more smaller university, but they're really good at what they do. I want to say that they are really good at what they do. I've got really good friends in that university, and I don't want to lie, the university is really good. I like the way that they've balanced everything out, right? So it really stands out from a balanced view, from a computer science and a data science perspective, right? So entry friendly. Now, last but not least, right, we've got our friend Eduvos, right? So Eduvos has a BSc in information technology. It's a BSc in information technology, but specializes in data science, right? So this is a private institution, so you might not get funded by NSFAS, right? I'm not sure, but you might not get funded by NSFAS, right? So just make note of that. So this one is 3 years. It can be 5 years online, part-time. They do some flexibility, which I think is really great, right? But in terms of the mode, 12 campus, so they've got 12 campuses nationally, fully online. So you've got the option, flexibility to basically navigate that, right? So entry, BSc pass, so NB, you basically need to complete your matric, right? 50% grade 12 mathematics, right? Yeah. If you actually get these requirements, there's a bridge for you to actually follow. They do offer flexibility in you actually qualifying, right? So I'll say that's one of the good things that I'm seeing here. So this is more of an IT degree with a data science specialization. It gives off an IT vibe, to be honest with you. It doesn't give an intense computer science vibe. I think this one would be one of the lighter programs in this list that we've got here. So it leans more to coding and IT than stats heavy. So this one, if you're not too crazy about data science, you can actually try this one. A bit of data analysis in Python, right? So this one I would say is a lighter version, for the people that want to get started in life, without anything hectic, or you want to become a data analyst at some point. This would be a good one, right? So first day you learn about data ethics, cloud-based technology, networking, introduction to programming, Linux, and OS. And you can see it's very light, but these are core important fundamentals that you need to have. So you could still venture into other areas, AI techniques and all of that, fourth industrial revolution, right? I would say this one, if you need flexibility and part-time, it's great, right? But, it's not as technical compared to the others, but it is still a good program. I don't want to lie to you, but these are essentially all the programs that we have on this list. But if I were to pick like the strong picks, if I were to pick, let's say, my top 2 in this list, being honest, these programs are all strong, but they're all very strong. But if I were to go back to university and do any of this, I'm most probably going to choose Pretoria, the University of Pretoria, and probably the Cape Town one because of a strong focus on business. I like the strong focus on business, I don't want to lie, because it's really important. I feel like those would be my top picks. If you ask me what are my top 2, University of Pretoria and University of Cape Town, right? Those would be my top 2. The others, it's very hard for me to decide, but these would be some of the universities, sort of programs that I think would really be great, right? So I think that's it for the video. If you genuinely like this video, please don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. This really does help grow my channel. If there's anything that you guys want me to cover, just use my comment section. Let me know whether you want to cover computer science, information systems, or any careers, right? This channel is all things data and AI. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.